Libra darling, let me ask you this: what if the three most powerful forces in your life were aligning right now to open three doors? One to unexpected money, one to a necessary goodbye, and one to a divine union that changes your story forever? If your heart just skipped a beat, I need you to stay with me. This isn't just another zodiac reading. This is a cosmic message with your name written all over it. It's not a coincidence that you've landed on this video today. You've been guided here for a reason, and I promise you, if you stay with me, you'll understand why. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot. This is your sacred space for clarity, awakening, and divine timing. My mission is to walk with you through the most profound transitions of your spiritual and earthly journey. And right now, Libra, you are standing at a threshold unlike any other. Between October 19th and 24th, three archetypal energies are circling your chart and your cards. First, a surge of financial blessings, money that arrives not just from effort, but from alignment. Second, the closing of a cycle, a goodbye that may feel sudden, but will make room for your soul's expansion. And third, a sacred connection. This could be love. It could be a soul agreement. But it will feel like coming home. Let me tell you why this timing is so rare. On October 23rd, the full moon in Taurus illuminates your second house, the house of values, finances, and self-worth. This lunar energy isn't gentle. It harvests what you've worked for in silence. It activates ancestral rewards. It delivers results from seeds you forgot you planted. Add to that the presence of the Ten of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Lovers in your spread, and Libra. We are not talking about surface-level shifts. This is legacy-level energy. Soul contract energy. Karmic fulfillment. And if you've been hearing whispers, maybe in music, in dreams, in the silence when you pray, this is your confirmation. Now let me ask you this: are you willing to receive? Are you ready to let go of the old version of you, the one who over-explains, who overgives, who shrinks to be accepted? Because the universe is not asking you to earn this new chapter. It's asking you to step into it. Before we move forward, let me take a moment to thank you for being here. Your presence, your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscriptions, they don't just support Zodiac Whisper Tarot, they deepen the connection between us. And they activate your own intention to walk more fully into your divine path. So I invite you right now, comment below and confirm your alignment. Tell me, what sacred number or phrase resonates with you today? Type your angel number, your moon sign, your rising, your truth. You don't have to know everything. You just have to say yes. Because trust me, Libra, you're going to want to stay with me until the very end of this reading. What the universe is about to reveal will reshape the way you see your past, your future, and your true power. Let's begin. Sometimes, blessings don't look the way we expect them to. They don't always arrive wrapped in celebration or applause. Sometimes, abundance shows up quietly, through the back door of change. And if you're like many Libras right now, what you're experiencing may not feel like a financial miracle at first glance, but it is. Because this part of your reading, focused on the door of wealth, isn't just about money. It's about self-worth, soul-earned inheritance, and the courage to say, yes, I am ready to receive. The energy of this week aligns with the full moon in Taurus, which activates your second house, the domain of income, value, and stability. Full moons are natural harvest times in astrology. They illuminate what's been hidden and bring closure, clarity, and manifestation. But this particular lunation goes deeper. Because Taurus, being ruled by Venus just like you, Libra adds a layer of spiritual luxury to what's unfolding. And when the Ten of Pentacles appears in your spread alongside this energy, the message is undeniable: a legacy is being transferred. Now, legacy can mean many things. For some, it may be literal: a financial settlement, an inheritance, a gift from someone who has recently passed on. For others, it could show up as debt forgiveness, a business opportunity, or even the end of a cycle that was costing you too much to maintain emotionally, mentally, or financially. You may find money flowing in from unexpected places, a refund you forgot about, a payment you weren't sure would ever come, or support offered at just the right moment. And here's something I want you to sit with. Have you ever rejected money, support, or gifts not because you didn't need them, but because you were afraid of how it would look? Because you didn't want to be seen as greedy, or unworthy, or dependent? If so, you're not alone. Many of us, especially those who have carried the emotional weight of others for too long, unconsciously block the very abundance we pray for. Not because we don't deserve it, but because deep down, we've been taught to earn it through struggle. This is where the shift begins. When you allow yourself to receive without guilt, you signal to the universe that you're no longer subscribing to scarcity. You declare that your value isn't determined by how hard you push, how much you sacrifice, or how little you ask for. Receiving becomes an act of spiritual alignment, not entitlement. Let's take this deeper with a simple but powerful exercise. Tonight, before you sleep, write down 3 things about money that you're genuinely grateful for, even if they're small. A bill you were able to pay. A meal you could afford. A moment you felt safe in your finances. Then, write this affirmation: I am open to divine financial flow. I accept my worth. I receive with peace. Repeat it aloud, not with force, but with faith. There's something sacred about receiving. And sometimes, that blessing is sent through what feels like loss. A job ending that clears space for something aligned. A relationship ending that frees up your energy. A chapter closing that returns your power. These aren't punishments, they're repositionings. In everyday life, we don't always recognize the miracle while it's happening. We're too busy mourning what left or analyzing what's next. But later, sometimes weeks, sometimes years, we look back and realize that what we thought was chaos was God's rearrangement. We thought we were being forgotten, but we were actually being redirected. So today, Libra, I'm asking you not to dismiss the shift just because it doesn't glitter at first. Look beneath the surface. Something sacred is transferring into your hands. Not just money, but the mindset that knows how to hold it with calm, with clarity, and with confidence. If this resonates, take a deep breath and comment below to confirm, I am ready to receive what is already mine. Because sometimes, all it takes to open the door is choosing to knock. Not everything that leaves your life is a loss. Sometimes, it's a quiet release, a sacred untangling, preparing you for a version of yourself you haven't yet met. And Libra, after opening the door to financial blessings, what often comes next is this: a shift that feels like a goodbye. It could be the ending of a relationship, the quiet fade out of a career path, or a conversation you didn't expect to happen, one that shifts everything. It's in these moments that we meet the tower. The Tower card doesn't show up to punish you. It doesn't appear to break you. It arrives when your foundation is no longer sustainable. When the life you've built is too small for the soul you've become. And so yes, something may fall. But not because you've failed, rather, because you've outgrown the structure that once held you. This part of your journey is tender. Letting go is never easy for someone like you, Libra. You're wired for harmony, balance, and loyalty. You give chances. You hold space. You choose peace over conflict even when it costs you your voice. But this week, as energy stirs in your chart, you may be asked to make peace with a release. Not with anger. Not with blame. But with reverence. Because what leaves you now isn't just leaving, it's returning you to yourself. I want you to imagine this not as a breakdown, but a breakthrough. That conversation you're afraid to have, it might be the doorway to emotional liberation. That opportunity that didn't call you back, maybe it wasn't rejection, but redirection. That person you loved who's slowly drifting, what if their exit is a divine rerouting, creating space for someone who truly sees you? Here's something gentle you can do. Take a few quiet minutes alone this week. Sit somewhere without distractions, close your eyes, and write a letter not to send, but to release. Write to the person, the version of yourself, or the situation that you feel is slipping away. Say everything you need to say, the gratitude, the grief, the hope, the truth. When you're done, don't reread it. Fold it. Bless it. Burn it or bury it. Let the words transform into freedom. There's a real woman I once worked with whose story reflects this perfectly. She lost her father suddenly, no time for closure, no goodbye. But weeks later, while cleaning out an old drawer, she found a sealed envelope. Inside, her father had written a simple note years prior that read, "Use this to build something new." Attached was a savings bond he had quietly kept in her name. That message changed her. Not just financially but emotionally. It reminded her that love doesn't always say goodbye in words. Sometimes, love leaves behind keys to doors we haven't opened yet. You might not receive a note in an envelope, but Libra, there is a message in this moment. There is a sacred exit happening, even if you don't fully understand it yet. Trust that what's falling away is not taking you backward, it's lifting you higher. In the context of the wisdom we receive from faith, we can remember that in every garden, something must be buried before it can bloom. In busy lives, in uncertain times, we forget, endings are not failures. They are transitions. They are holy invitations to deeper truth. Just because you didn't expect it doesn't mean it wasn't divinely timed. So this week, as the tower unfolds in subtle or seismic ways, hold yourself gently. Speak kindly to the version of you that is scared to release. And more than anything, trust that something stronger, truer is already forming in its place. If you felt a goodbye forming in your life lately, take a breath and let me know in the comments. Share what you're releasing. Say it aloud. Let it be witnessed. Let it begin. Sometimes, the most unexpected moment is when love arrives, not the love that depletes or asks you to dim your light, but the kind that recognizes your truth and makes space for it to breathe. After the shifting energies of release we explored in the previous part, you may find yourself standing before an entirely different kind of opening. This one feels quieter, softer but more profound. It's the entrance of a soul-level connection. And Libra, if you've been feeling like the universe has kept you waiting, perhaps it was only aligning you with the one who can meet you where you truly are. When the Lover's card appears in a reading, especially alongside cosmic shifts like a Taurus full moon, it speaks less about romantic fantasy and more about sacred choices. It asks, are you choosing from fear or from fullness? Are you entering connection because it adds to your life, or because it distracts you from your loneliness? There's nothing shameful about desiring love, but there is great power in realizing you deserve a love that mirrors your wholeness, not one that fills your gaps. Sometimes this soul-aligned connection arrives in the form of someone returning, an old flame re-entering your life, but transformed. They may carry with them lessons, humility, and a heart that has done the work. Other times, it's a new energia person you meet who makes you feel seen without having to explain yourself. They spark something familiar, though you've only just met. And sometimes, this union isn't romantic at all. It might be a mentor, a collaborator, or a client who shifts the trajectory of your path. The key is to tune into how you feel in their presence. Do you soften or shrink? Do you light up or go silent? True energetic alignment is not about how someone looks, but how they leave you feeling when they're around. A soul connection is someone who inspires you to rise, not conform. It's someone who recognizes your light without trying to control it. If you're unsure, try this: stand before a mirror this week, and look directly into your own eyes. Without judgment, without criticism, speak to yourself like you would to someone you deeply love. Say, I choose me. I am love before anyone ever gives it to me. Feel what arises. Often, the resistance that surfaces in that moment is the exact wound that needs your attention before the right connection can fully land. From a numerology perspective, the number 6 is associated with love, harmony, responsibility, and nurturing. It's no coincidence that this number is linked to the Lover's card. When we're vibrating at a 6 frequency, we draw in not just relationships but relationships that carry purpose. This is the week to align your energy with that intention. There are small, physical ways to open your heart to this kind of love, too. Incorporate foods that naturally increase oxytocin bonding hormone like dark chocolate, salmon, and almonds. Play healing frequencies like 528 Hz in the background while you work or rest. These aren't magic spells, but gentle invitations for your nervous system to feel safe receiving. In our fast-paced world, it can be hard to believe that love still arrives in sacred timing. But there are so many stories of people finding life-altering love after the most unexpected endings. A woman who found her true partner 2 months after quitting the job that drained her soul. A man who met his life mentor during a silent retreat he almost didn't attend. Divine connections rarely shout. They whisper. And those whispers become undeniable when you've cleared the noise. So if this resonates with you, take a moment and share it in the comments. Tell me what kind of love you're opening to. Say the words out loud that you haven't had space to speak. You never know who might be reading, who might be reflecting, who might be on the same path as you. And most importantly, remember, the love that's meant for you will never require you to abandon yourself to receive it. There's something subtle yet powerful about the moment when you stop chasing and start becoming. After opening the heart to sacred love and choosing release over resistance, a quieter kind of transformation begins to unfold, one that doesn't demand attention or applause, but instead invites stillness. Libra, this part of your journey isn't about someone else showing up for you. It's about you showing up for yourself, fully, peacefully, without apology. You may begin to notice it in small ways. The way you breathe deeper without even realizing it. The way silence no longer feels like loneliness. Or the way you stop second-guessing your worth in rooms where you used to shrink. This is the inner doorway. The space where external validation no longer defines your success. Instead, success begins to feel like peace. Like mornings where your nervous system isn't already overwhelmed before your feet touch the floor. Like saying no without guilt. Like choosing rest without feeling behind. There's a truth that every spiritually awake person eventually faces, that healing is not about becoming someone new. It's about releasing everything you were never meant to carry, and returning to who you already are. That's why this chapter doesn't ask you to prove anything. It asks you to listen. To pause. To check in with the you that's been quietly waiting beneath the noise. One way to support this unfolding is through simple daily rituals that ground and restore. Try the 4-7-8 breath method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Let your body know it's safe. This kind of breathwork doesn't just reduce anxiety, it realigns your frequency to match your intentions. You can also try 20 minutes of light walking each day. Not to burn calories or meet a goal, but to move emotion through your body. Your body is not separate from your inner world, it is the landscape where your energy either stagnates or flows. Some of the most profound shifts come not when we're doing, but when we're being. That's why connecting to nature, even in the smallest ways, can remind you of who you are. Take your shoes off and place your bare feet on the earth. Let it hold you. Watch a flower bloom, really notice it. Its beauty doesn't rush. Its purpose isn't in productivity. It simply becomes, in its own time. This is also a powerful week to pay attention to color. Energetically, aqua green is the shade of healing, clarity, and restoration. Consider wearing it or surrounding yourself with it if you're seeking calm. Meanwhile, peach pink invites softness, openness, and the willingness to receive love without fear. Both colors reflect the balance of what's rising within you, grounded truth and tender renewal. When I think about spiritual maturity, I often remember the gentle reminder that not every blessing will arrive with fireworks. Some of the most divine moments are the ones we almost overlook, the ones where your heart finally feels quiet, your body feels safe, and you no longer need anything outside of yourself to confirm your value. That, too, is a miracle. And while this part of your evolution may not be loud or dramatic, it is sacred. Choosing yourself again and again is a revolution in a world that constantly asks you to be something else. You don't need to rush this. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to remember that healing doesn't have a finish line, only invitations. This week, Libra, one of those invitations is already in your hands. If you've been sensing this quiet shift within, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What part of you are you choosing to reclaim this week? Speak it into being. Witness it. Because the version of you that's rising now isn't here to impress anyone, they're here to live in peace, on purpose, with nothing to prove. Somewhere along the way, we forget that miracles aren't just meant to find us, they're meant to respond to us. They are not reserved for the few or the fortunate, but are stirred into motion by choice, by action, by intention. And after all the releasing, the soul aligning, and the inner shifts we've walked through together so far, this is the moment, Libra, where you step into your role as a conscious co-creator. This is where you plant the seed not with hope alone, but with readiness. This final part of your journey is where energy becomes embodied. Because knowing something on a spiritual level is beautiful, but living it, waking up each morning and choosing it, that's where true transformation takes root. The shifts you've sensed, the inner freedom you've longed for, the abundance you've been calling in, they don't require perfection. They require presence. They require you to stop waiting and start moving, even if just a little. One of the most powerful ways to anchor this shift is through a simple morning ritual. As you wake, before checking your phone or stepping into your routine, place your hand over your heart and say softly, "I choose myself. I open. I am ready." Feel the weight of those words. Let them settle into your nervous system. What you're doing in that moment isn't just affirming, you're aligning your frequency. You're setting the tone for how your day responds to you. You can take it further by writing down 3 things you are actively releasing this week. It could be self-doubt, resentment, the fear of being too much. And then write 3 things you are open to receive. Maybe it's unexpected income, genuine partnership, or a peaceful mind. Fold the paper and place it somewhere sacred, a book you're reading, under your pillow, in your wallet. Somewhere close. This is not superstition. It's sacred commitment. The moment you name it, you give it life. Sometimes, taking action means sharing what moved you. If this video or message awakens something in you, pass it on. Send it to someone who might need it, maybe a friend, a sibling, a fellow Libra. You never truly know how your choice to share light becomes someone else's turning point. What you offer doesn't have to be big to be miraculous. I remember hearing about a woman who, in a moment of deep personal loss, came across a simple handwritten note from her mother. It had been tucked away in a box she hadn't touched in years. The note read, "Keep going. Your light is needed." That message, so small, so quiet, shifted everything. Not because it solved her pain, but because it reminded her that she wasn't forgotten. That her presence still mattered. Sometimes, the smallest signs are the ones that spark the biggest awakenings. So if your heart is stirring now, don't let this moment pass. Anchor it. Act on it. Comment below and claim your new timeline. Say it in your words, or use one of mine if you need a place to begin. I am ready to receive the wealth and love that I deserve. I release what no longer belongs to me. I choose myself, I choose light, I choose real love. This is not just a gesture, it is a doorway. And you, Libra, are the one holding the key. You're not here to repeat your past. You are not a continuation of your mistakes or missed chances. You are a beginning, a new page, a sacred rewrite. The story moving forward is not just about what you heal, but what you create from that healing. What you build. What you bless. So take the step. Light the match. Write the word. Share the message. Because the miracle you've been praying for may already be growing beneath your feet, it just needed your yes to finally bloom. Libra, dear soul of the scales, this is your sacred harvest season. You didn't come here to be accepted by others, you came here to choose yourself again. You didn't stumble upon this message by accident. Something in your spirit guided you here, because something deep within you already knows. A powerful chapter is beginning and you're the one writing it. You may have felt like you've been walking alone, waiting for a sign, hoping for the moment things finally shift. This is that moment. This is that sign. What if I told you that the pain, the silence, the unexpected goodbyes were all divine setups for the breakthrough you've been praying for? What if all the delays were never denials, but sacred detours meant to align you with what is truly yours? The universe is not blind to your effort, Libra. Every silent tear, every hidden prayer, every time you kept going when you wanted to give up, all of it has been seen. And now, life is responding. Not randomly. Not by luck. But by divine orchestration. This is the season where what was taken from you returns multiplied. This is the time when what you thought had ended will surprise you with new beginnings. A large amount of money is not just on the way, it's circling your field now, looking for a match in frequency. A soul union is not just a dream, it's a divine appointment, coming at the exact moment your spirit is truly ready to receive. And the goodbye you didn't expect? It wasn't a punishment. It was protection. Because the new chapter you're stepping into cannot be tainted by old vibrations. This is your moment to say yes. Yes to your healing. Yes to your growth. Yes to your abundance. Yes to the version of yourself that finally believes, I am worthy of more. So I ask you now, not as a stranger behind a screen, but as someone who sees you, will you allow yourself to receive what you once thought you weren't ready for? Will you believe, just for a moment longer, that things are working in your favor? Tell me in the comments, Libra, what are you releasing today? And what are you finally ready to receive? Your words have power. Your declaration anchors your new timeline. Claim it boldly, you're not alone. And if this message stirred something in you, a spark, a whisper, a remembering, don't let it fade. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and join us here at Zodiac Whisper Tarot, where miracles are normalized and your light is never too much. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're right on time for your soul's harvest. And I'm honored to witness you step into it.